Good, bad, fair, unfair, should, shouldn't. What do all these things have in common? Yes, that's right, judgment. Before we jump on into that, first, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie. I'm Long Island's eating disorder specialist. I post on this channel 3 times a week all about eating disorders, body image issues, and general mental health. So if any of that interests you, please click the subscribe button down below. I also have a blog that I post on weekly and an Instagram. Feel free to check those out. I will leave those links in the description below. And of course, if you liked this video at the end or found it helpful, I would greatly appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up, because that helps other people who are struggling with things find my channel and hopefully help them as well. So today what we are going to be talking about is judgment, the tendency that we have to judge ourselves and to judge others. One of the DBT skills, I have mentioned DBT a plethora of times throughout my videos and just throughout all the content that I create and make. Well, I guess create and make are the same words, but whatever. So non-judgment is a DBT skill. DBT is a form of therapy. It's referred to as dialectical behavioral therapy, and there are different tools that are super helpful in just regards to like everything, especially mental health, but even just self-improvement and just things to be have in your toolbox. So non-judgment is one of them. If you ever find yourself judging yourself and making it where your life is more difficult or in more of a negative space, then this video is definitely for you. The very first thing when it comes to working on non-judgment is identifying when you are being judgmental. Of course, that it sounds super simplistic, but it's something that you may not have even thought of because it's a step that a lot of people just skip. So we need to understand what we are judging ourselves for and when we're judging ourselves. So what I would suggest doing is to take out your handy dandy journal and just start writing down all the judgments that you have about yourself. And I know that sounds super loaded, but just take your time and think. Like, if I were to judge myself right now, what are the things popping up? And you probably have a slew of things that you actually think of are judgments of yourself. Write them all down. And this, you can continue adding to this list. But then look at it, look at the list and be, okay, how am I judging myself? Let's say if you're on this channel, you might have an eating disorder and you might think that you may have a judgment that you are fat. So we're gonna go with that right now. One of your judgments is that I am fat. Okay, so how are you judging yourself? When are you judging yourself? And what words are you using to judge yourself with this item or this judgment? So I am fat. Are you just saying that? Or maybe are you also saying that when you're getting ready in the morning, nothing fits me. Like, why is my body so out of shape and nothing fits me? That's another way of you telling yourself that I am fat. Or perhaps I shouldn't be hungry. Again, that is I am fat. These are all the sneaky ways that you're judging yourself and saying that and making this judgment call on yourself that you may not even be aware of. So you need to be honest with yourself in identifying all the different sneaky ways that you are making judgments on yourself or others. But for this video, we're specifically going to talk about the judgments that you have for yourself. Now that you have awareness about it, now it's time to do something about it. So going back on the judgment of I am fat, that is clearly a judgment, right? So whatever you are going to do is the next time that you're experiencing this judgment, instead of saying and making a judgment call on it, and you probably know the judgment words that you have, the fat words or the, I am worthless, I am good, I am bad, I'm fair, I'm unfair, I'm awful, I'm a terrible person. Those are judgment calls. Now, instead of judging ourselves, what we're going to do is change the wording. Our language is so powerful. The words that we choose is so powerful. So instead of saying I am fat the next time that you are trying to get dressed in the morning and can't find anything to wear, you're going to instead describe the situation that you're experiencing. You could say, okay, none of my clothes is seeming to fit me right now. That's it. Because that's the case, and that's not something that you need to be judging, because there are clothes I can guarantee you somewhere in the world that will fit you, but maybe it's time to get some new clothes. And that's not something to judge. That is just something that is, and that is okay. So switching the language from judgment to just simply describing the situation is something that we need to work on. So next time that you are experiencing judgment, that is one of the methods that you can use, is to actively try to change what you're thinking, because judgments really can have such a negative impact on our life, and it could really just hurt us and our perception about ourselves. So we don't want to do that. So your one option is to change the way that you're thinking. Another tool that you can use is simply by observing your thoughts. And if you ever had any dabbling in meditation, you have absolutely heard of this. Instead of thinking our thoughts and really just pushing ourselves into it, saying that I'm fat, and then all of a sudden it's like nothing fits me. I hate the way my body looks. I just want to lose weight. I need to have more of an eating disorder, or I need to, engage more in restricting my calories. I need to exercise more. All of a sudden you're just like, your head just starts exploding. We do not want to do that. So one, we have the option to experience that, which doesn't sound like a good option. We have the option to change our thoughts, as I said before, which is to describe the situation as an alternative to allowing yourself to get to that point. Or three, which is the next one I'm going to talk about, is simply observing your thoughts. And you may have heard this analogy before, but just observing your thoughts as though there were clouds passing by. Or one of my favorites, the one that I use a little bit more, that was taught to me a while ago, was using a conveyor belt. That all your thoughts are just like on a conveyor belt, like at a store, or you could have it at an airport, and they're just going by, and that's it. They're nothing more powerful. They're nothing more than just a thought. And you can allow that thought. You could take that off the conveyor thought and just smother yourself in that thought and all those judgments, or you could simply watch that thought pass. And I would encourage you to use imagery for this, to use that visualization, whether you are laying down and seeing the cloud just pass by. You can see that thought just pass by. Yes, I had that thought, and that is okay. It was just a thought. It has no power over me. Goodbye, thought. Or let it sway by on the conveyor belt. So 3 options. Allow yourself to experience that thought. Doesn't sound like the best option for me, because that usually just leads to a minefield. Okay, so that's one option. Second option is to change your thinking, as I had described. Or third is to simply observe your thoughts from a non-judgmental stance. Thoughts are just thoughts, and they are what we make of them. So do not make anything more of them. And I'm not saying that those things are easy. Those last 2 options are easy, but they are skills. And skills we can always learn, and practice makes perfect. Not that you'll ever get to perfection, because I can guarantee you that you're going to judge yourself again. I can guarantee you that you're going to land in that judgment minefield, and that is totally okay. This is a practice, and this is something that you can work on and improve. It's not going to be something that you ever master, and that's okay. Put these things in your toolbox, and the next time that you find yourself judging yourself, use one of these tools. I really hope that you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, inspirational. Please click the like button, the thumbs up button if you did. Leave a comment down below about which one you are going to choose to use. Are you going to choose the minefield and just allowing yourself to think that thought and just go crazy? Are you going to change your thinking, or are you going to observe the thoughts from a non-judgmental stance? I really would like to hear about that in the comments down below. You can click my face over here to subscribe to my channel, and I wish you non-judgment on your journey to finding your state of balance, and I will see you in my next video.